All right. So, my topic for this week is your guys' favorite video game sequels.
I got one.
These got to be like continuations of the story, same characters, stuff like that. Okay.
Direct sequels.
We're not talking things like with Fable, how it's 500 years in the future and pretty much a
Totally
separate
different.
story.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's another conversation we'll have one of these days. So don't spoil those for yourself yet.
And I take it prequels are disqualified.
He said Well, I mean,
I guess you
so
could do
What
technically
about
the-
a pre-sequel?
the main game could be a
you could
sequel to the
classify.
prequel.
We'll just say sequels for the time.
Let's stick with sequels. Yeah.
Sound good? Do we all agree on that?
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know mine.
I have a few.
I have a few. Well, I was going to go ahead and start with one of mine, then I can keep going if you
Go for
guys
it, man.
don't have much to go with.
Yeah.
One of my favorite sequels to this day remains The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. It was one of those that took what was good with The Witcher, even better with The Assassins of Kings, and then just trumped it all with The Wild Hunt.
It's fantastic. So
I mean, gameplay was so
Jordan
much
played that
smoother,
game.
so much cleaner.
Jordan, play that game.
The
It's really
story
good. Play
was
that
cohesive. It tied together really well. Everything that happened before, like there are references in there that are from.
Zuckerberg brought the
like
TV down on everyone.
I hit my head on the TV
Mhm.
and I knocked the cable loose.
And
Yes,
for the
very
record, for
good.
those of you who'd played like The Witcher or The Witcher 2: The Assassin of Kings, you would notice that there were a lot of things that were actually brought over, little Easter eggs and references that were just continued along, and they made stories out of it that were just phenomenal. So I don't know
lore-
how many of you have played. I know you have.
The lore is very complete. We'll just say that.
Mhm.
It's very, very good. You
So,
definitely do Terraria. It's
yeah,
fantastic.
Terraria, do it. Trust us.
And once you do it, get Jordan to do it.
I highly recommend. I also highly recommend
I
playing
haven't
them all in
played it
order. But if you don't play the first two, 3 is complete on its own.
You just play 3 and be fine. To be honest.
I have 1, 2, and 3 on Steam, but I just haven't. I played 3 for a little bit, but then I was like, well, I have 1 and 2. I kind of wanted to play those before 3, and then I was talking to Weston one day. I'm just gonna make excuses, and he's like, I have mods for you to use to make it like more modern. You can use controllers and stuff, and I'm like, okay, sweet. I will wait to play it, but then I never got the mods, so I'm gonna blame Weston.
I'll get them to you one of these days when I think about it. I just need to zip them up and send them. That's all it boils down to.
It's a good choice. Very good choice.
So that's my number one at this point. I want to hear some of your guys's, and if we need to fill out more, I can bring in some more. So
Go ahead, Logan.
So one that comes off just right off the bat for me is XD for the Pokemon GameCube games. So it was Coliseum and then XD.
Okay.
XD is there's a little bit of a time jump. It's like 5 years, but it follows the storyline that what ended off on the first one. It picks up from that kind of point in the story, and it kind of has like the same villains and stuff like that. So I love the GameCube games, the Pokemon games. They're super underrated. I love how it makes a lot of Pokemon like that you wouldn't normally use viable because there's only a select few in the game that you can actually catch via the Shadow Pokemon stuff. And it adds some cool new mechanics like actually adding some wild Pokemon. You can do like there's like a few areas in the game where you can just lay bait down, and then it'll tell you like, hey, there's a Pokemon there, and you go find it. So that was really cool.
Isn't there like a super rare Pokemon in those games in a tree that can only be found like a certain day at a certain time, and even though there's like a 5% chance, something like? What game is that?
You're probably thinking like Diamond and Pearl.
I don't remember.
With
You
Snorlax.
put something in a
Munchlax?
tree.
Yeah,
Honey
you're probably
Nut
thinking.
Tree.
Yeah,
you're
that's
probably
it.
thinking
That's
Munch.
Munchlax.
That's
Okay,
Diamond
I
and
was
Pearl.
thinking he was what
Yeah.
he was talking about here. My bad.
No, so
Yeah, shiny hunting that thing is stupid.
yeah, but yeah, and that's another thing. Like it added. I think this is the first time they ever had overworld shinies. Because if you were to shiny hunt like the wild spots or whatever, when you go up to the bait location, the model would actually be shiny before you battled it. So that was cool.
Yeah, I really like that in
Let's go.
yeah, Let's Go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Sword and Shield didn't do that,
Nope.
which I really don't understand, but that's a cool feature though.
Yeah. So that's just one that comes off.
Yeah,
out,
sure.
You know, off right off the top of my head.
Yeah, so my one would be probably Modern Warfare 2, because I think that was like one of the best Call of Duties ever, and
Yeah,
right after
agree.
Call of Duty
I would
4,
agree with that.
the story in that and just the way they tie those games together is just unbelievably good. And I will never forget in Modern Warfare 2 just how gripping that story was. Like the no Russian was just like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like
It
it's
was
just
very good.
I mean, it's not awesome. They just murdered all those people. But
Mhm.
Okay,
I
no,
know
like
what you're
the-
saying.
like the way that the game would make you feel. You know,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
like this is like video games actually have this effect. Like that's super cool.
Yeah.
Because the only other game that kind of emotionally would get even close. I mean, actually, I would say it beats it, but it's not a sequel. Would be the original or the
Last
first,
of
The Last
Us.
of Us with that opening scene. It was like, holy crap, dude! Like the emotions in that first 10 minutes of the game is just insane. And I feel like No Russian with the way they full circle that back and like the end of how the story ends in Modern Warfare 2 and everything. It's just so good, dude. Unbelievable. Plus, I mean, Modern Warfare 2, I think I'd be willing to say has the best mechanics of any Call of Duty.
I honestly like MW3 better, but Modern Warfare 2 was really good.
I love Modern Warfare 2. I played that so much on the 360, man. Like back,
Oh yeah, the
In,
whole
like, my
Modern
freshman year of
Warfare
high
series
school.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely the pinnacle of Call of Duty, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
yeah. So that would be
Personally.
my favorite sequel.
Mhm.
I mean, the obvious one, Halo 2 and 3. Fantastic. You know, Halo Combat Evolved revolutionizing the FPS genre with an incredible story. Just like the lore is amazing. Check it out. It's pretty awesome. It goes a lot more outside of the games too, if you don't know. But Halo 2, one of my favorite games ever. Probably tied for number 1 for my favorite game ever. But yeah, just you jump right back into it. Master Chief, thrilling campaign, really cool story. We're on Earth now. Some interesting mechanics. It's cool. We leave, go back to another Halo. Like it's just so good. Really, really good.
See, I would say Halo 3 would be up there, but I never played Halo 1 or 2. So I started out with 3 because I didn't get a 360
Okay.
until after 3 was
Halo
already
3
out.
is fantastic.
Yeah, I never had an Xbox until after Halo 3 was out. So I can't
Halo
say
3 is really good too.
it
It's
would be
just
up there as my favorite or
pretty
on my
close,
list,
yeah.
you know. But I never played the first 2 to kind of get me the story to begin
Sure.
with.
Yeah.
You
So,
should
like,
go
my-
back and play the
in
Master
my-
Chief Collection or something.
Yeah, because even though like it clearly is a sequel in my mind, I never played the beginning, so it's just like the original for me. You know, like it's the first one I knew.
You should definitely go back. And
My
play it.
I should.
Yeah.
my favorite is a prequel, so mine doesn't count. Mine's Reach. I love that story in Reach. It's so good. Like that was probably the first.
You were a Reach baby.
The first time I like.
I think you're really reaching on this one.
That
you
was
know?
literally like the first time I played
I
through
liked Reach. Don't
a
get me wrong.
story
Yeah,
of a
it was
game
decent.
and like felt emotions
Mhm.
because like the whole story of that game, the whole time through, you're like, you know, I don't want to
Double
spoil
six.
it, but like a lot of stuff happens in that game, and then the final stand is incredible, and it's like this whole just mission. You just gotta last as long as you can, and it's awesome. So
Well, it sets up Halo.
yeah, and then
Like-
you realize it's like
You notice this Pillar of the
Yep.
Ottomans leaving. So.
yep.
But yeah, no, it's really good. Outside of Halo, I guess Borderlands 2.
Oh yeah,
That's
a good-
one of them on my
That
list.
actually
Um,
totally just slipped my mind. That's a fantastic
I
game.
loved Borderlands. It was a great game and stuff. It really set
Yeah.
up that universe.
Mm-hmm.
Borderlands 2 blew it out of the water.
Yeah, it really did. I still
Story
need to play 3.
fantastic.
We played it.
Um,
Yeah,
When
we
it
never
first-
beat it though.
No, we never beat it.
stories.
first came out.
Dude, if you guys want to play, I'd start a new game. I actually
Yeah.
want to finish like the DLC and stuff. So
I want to.
Yeah,
but-
I never got too far in 3, and I'd love to finish it.
Yeah,
3 I
that'd be
didn't
a
like
super
as
good one.
much as 2 by any means, but
That being said,
Wow.
it's still a good game.
It's
It's
not
not
bad.
as
It's
good
Borderlands,
as 2.
but-
Yeah, I mean, it's still Borderlands.
but
It's not as
2
good as 2, but
2 is
it's
so good.
yeah.
One of the best, like, and most remembered like villain in a game with Anthem Jack. Like
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
that performance was amazing.
Unbelievably good.
Mm-hmm.
You get all the old characters, you get new characters. It's all more is better.
Yeah.
All love. Cool regions, lots of stuff to do. It's just Borderlands.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
The
intrigued.
wacky, funny, crazy,
Yeah.
violent stuff. It's great.
I'm
Oh,
intrigued with
I
the new one. And
agreed.
we'll probably talk about that later
Yeah.
in a bit with your topic. But yeah, that one looks interesting.
Was it
Tiny-
Tina,
yeah.
Tina's Wonderland.
Wonderland
Yeah.
or Wasteland or something like
It
that?
was Wonderlands,
Was
I
it?
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
It's like they're playing D&D.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
so
turn-based.
funny.
It's turn-based actually, so it's kind of like an RPG,
Mm.
from what I understand. But
We'll get to that.
It's still like
in
a
bit,
tabletop game
but-
of some sort. But
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
hilarious.
Yeah,
oh
Borderlands,
yeah, Borderlands
is really good.
awesome. So
Mhm.
good.
I've actually just recently started playing back through them, so because
We
they're
should all
that
start
good.
3. Do you have 3, Weston?
I'm starting back on 1 and playing clean through because I'd never played through 3 yet.
Gotcha.
So
So we could
should all
4-player
s-
co-op, man.
I'd so be
I would
down.
be
Yeah.
down. That'd be,
That'd be
sick.
fun. That'd be a fun one to stream on this channel here too.
That'd be really cool to play.
I'd be really down.
So my only problem is I don't have a whole lot of time to play
No,
these
I
things,
get
but
it, but
I get you, Wes.
it'd still be
But-
fun.
I would definitely be down for that
Yep.
because I love Borderlands. Of all the shooter types, it's my favorite. So
Looter shooters. This is
good,
the
man.
one. You know,
It
It's
is
good, yeah.
It's very good.
It's real good.
so other than that, like another one of like, do you have anything else you want to say on that one, or should I move on to another one?
No, you go for it.
Go for it.
Because my second favorite of the sequels is actually Kingdom Hearts 2. Have you guys played Kingdom Hearts?
I
Nope.
played the first one.
I've played part of the first one. I haven't. Like, I played it a year or two back, right before 3 came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I stopped. I wasn't too into it. It was a little dated for me. Mechanics and stuff. Just like I needed to put more time into it. I didn't have the time, so it was just too slow for me. So I dropped it. But
I played them back when they were first coming out, and I can tell you that series, I have a love-hate relationship with it. Like, the console games are some of my favorite games, but all the handheld versions are just so questionable for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're so hit and miss.
How many are there?
there's quite a few.
There's quite a few.
Because I know there's Birth by Sleep, which was the prequel. You've got Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories. You've got Kingdom Hearts 2. You've got Recode.
Yeah.
You've got 3. There's more.
There's
There's
more.
Dream Drop Distance. I know that one. And there's more, I'm pretty sure.
There's
358 over
That's
2.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
That one was decent, but I still think 2 is better. But I'm telling you, 2 was phenomenal. It was the one that I thought was actually better than 1. So
What did
And
you
I
think
think
of
sure.
3? I know
3,
that one had a lot of mixed reviews from Kingdom
I
Hearts.
felt like
fans.
2 was better and
Mhm.
how it progressed the story and how it grew the individual characters.
Mhm.
So that's personal preference there. I can respect 3 though.
I think from what I hear, 3 mechanics wise and stuff.
Yeah, that's what
was
killed it for me.
fantastic.
Mhm.
That's what got it for me.
That's what killed it for you, or got it for you? Did you like it or not?
I
'Cause
was
I've never played it.
Yeah.
You see, I was actually one of those that I feel like it changed things up a little too much.
Too
Like
much? Yeah.
that's what I felt. Like that's what killed it on my part.
Okay.
Because for me, I played 1, played into 2, and then they changed things up way more than any other for 3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what, like I said, what killed it for me on a lot of the handhelds was their change in the mechanics and how
Yeah.
it functioned. And so that got it.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've never
I don't
played
know.
the games, but you're not the first person that I've heard say something similar to that. You know.
Yeah, I know a bit about the story, and from here, the story is like fantastic. It sounds
Oh.
really cool to me.
Honestly, like
Because-
it's,
Games wise, though,
Just remind me,
you know,
because I'm like 90% sure I'm right. I just want to be sure. That's the Final Fantasy mixed with Disney, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So that's.
if you
I
guys
thought so.
if you guys are going to play them, I actually recommend to do their like remixes where they allow you to play some of the console games in just the story mode.
Yep.
You don't actually play anything; you can just play through the story, if you will,
Mhm.
and then you can just play through the main console games straight through.
Yeah.
I actually prefer that.
Yeah, and
Just-
that's how I played the first one. Is I have the newest remix, like 1.5 plus 2.5 or whatever it is. It's got like the first 2 and then like a few like the spin-off games like Chain of Memories they remastered for like
yeah.
like consoles and stuff. So.
Well, I know I played Chain of Memories on the. I didn't actually play it on the Game Boy Advance, which is what it was originally created on.
Yeah. Yep.
I played it on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Honestly, my least favorite in the entire series.
Mhm.
The story was all right.
See, that's the
but-
thing that lost me. Like, why I haven't played them since is like, it's so confusing. Like, I can't follow it. Like,
The Chain of Memories.
just the just the Kingdom Hearts lore in general is really confusing.
it is convoluted.
It can be, but if you actually play it through in the order it was released, it makes a lot more sense. So the problem is that you're jumping in at a point where they have so much stuff out there, and
Yeah.
that's starting to jumble together.
Yeah.
If you actually play it in the order it was released,
Mhm.
it makes sense.
Gotcha.
Like you can piece it together, and things just overlay each other, and you're like, okay, so now that makes more sense how that played out.
Gotcha.
But if you started actually playing them in what would be chronological order,
Mm-hmm.
it's totally convoluted, and it does not make that much sense.
Yeah.
I will agree to that.
Yeah, and I think another reason I lost
it.
me is because it was before I played Final Fantasy, so like I only knew half of the characters. And
Oh,
it was like
that was
Oh, you only
So,
did
like,
the
fighting
Disney side.
Sephiroth
Well,
was one of my
it's actually
greatest
really
joys.
funny because I've gone back and watched a let's play of the first Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, wait a minute, like Squall's in this game. I knew Cloud. I was like, I saw like I think Yuffie. What else?
You're gonna have
like
Aerith
pretty much,
and
yeah,
Tifa.
Aerith. I was like,
you're gonna
whoa,
have
I didn't realize.
Sephiroth.
Like I didn't realize these characters in this game. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think at some point I will give it another go and maybe play through the first one again and then
Play through them in the order of their release, and it'll make so much more sense.
yeah.
Don't listen to any of the lore outside of it. Play through the games as they're in order, and then go back and play through the stories.
Gotcha.
Don't bother playing the games. Like I said, the mechanics kill a lot of those for me.
Gotcha.
I need to go back and play through them and just do it. But
Yeah.
But yeah,
um,
1 and 2, if you at least play through those, you've got the best of the series anyway.
Gotcha.
So
I have a couple more if you guys want to know. Or we
Go
can
for
move
it.
on into
Go ahead.
But you know, I love the Mass Effect series.
Oh, that's actually on my list as well.
I need to
so.
play it.
2 and 3, fantastic.
I still
Like
need
you
to
love
play
one, it starts off the whole trilogy. It's a fantastic start, but the next two are like so much better.
Is there
So much.
4 total?
There's
You have
Andromeda, which
but
is
we-
different. That's a whole different
we
thing.
don't talk
I
about
heard a lot of
Andromeda.
people hate that one.
We
But
don't
Mass
talk about
Effect 4
Andromeda.
Okay.
has been announced.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I need to play Mass Effect.
So-
I've never,
oh dude, so good.
Honestly, do you feel the same way I did? I felt like 2 was better than 3 for Mass Effect.
I did in the beginning, and then I replayed again, and I like 3 better.
Okay, I'm planning to go back and replay them because I've only played 3 once. So, is it better the second playthrough?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 3 gets a lot of hate for reasons I think are stupid, but at the end of the day, like all around mechanics wise and just like the whole story coming to its end, I think 3 is better.
Okay.
2 is fantastic. What a great story! Like it throws you in with you're
You
on
get
the
them?
you're teaming up with what was like the bad guy in the beginning. So it's cool, and a lot of sweet characters come out. Our squad mates from the second game, but 3 is literally everything put together, so it's great. I really love 3.
So like I've seen like things about Mass Effect. It's actually something I know very little about. Like I don't even know like what type of game is it.
Third person. RPG.
shooter RPG.
So like a Gears of War type, like over the
Not quite, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, the camera angle.
It's not the same like style or like movement and stuff.
That
I
actually-
consider them a little different.
that actually goes. That jogged my memory of another sequel, Gears of War 2. I love that game.
That was good.
That was like the first M-rated game I was allowed to play,
Oh yeah.
and it's like I have very fond memories of that. Like I remember
You chainsawing people.
visiting. Yeah, I visited my grandma's house, and at the time, my cousins from California were visiting. They now live in Georgia, but they were visiting at the time, and he had like his Xbox set up. I was like, "Hey, what you playing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm playing Gears of War. You want to play with me?" And we played co-op. I was like, "What is this game? This is crazy." I was like chainsawing like these
The Locust.
locusts in half. I was like, "This game is awesome."
Gears is cool. Yeah, it's a good story too.
Yeah,
I have to say,
I haven't played
Gears
the
is
newest
one that I've
ones.
never actually played myself. I've seen other people play bits of it, but I have not played Gears
I
myself.
love-
I've only played
so-
through 3. I haven't played 4 or 5.
Yeah, I've played through 3. I haven't played 4 or 5 either.
Well, I haven't
2,
played through
oh,
any of them.
or
so.
Judgment or
I
whatever.
love the story of 2 as well. Like
2 was good.
so good.
It's on
My
my
boy Ty.
2 watch list
But
or 2 playlist. So
yeah, 2 is really good. But Mass Effect recommend highly.
Yeah.
Like play through it for sure.
yeah,
And then
what's the easiest way to play them right now?
The Legendary
There-
Collection just
yep.
came out. All 3 of them remastered.
Is it on Game Pass or
I don't know if it is or not. You can,
I don't
look.
know about that. It should be on Steam though.
they're on Steam?
You can play with the
Probably.
controller, Tim.
yeah,
I was saying the easiest way is with your hands
that's true.
Oh.
through a
It is.
controller.
I recommend a
I thought you were
controller,
just
not
asking like,
keyboard.
Yeah,
can you use a
yeah.
controller? I'm like, yes,
But
you
yeah,
can.
totally that one.
Yeah.
And then the last one on my list was Batman Arkham City,
Oh,
that was a
yes.
solid one.
which I
That is
loved.
great.
Asylum. I loved Asylum. Arkham City
Yes.
was just that and so much more.
Yes. The Arkham games in general.
They're just a solid
Still
series.
probably like Spider-Man is fantastic, but still probably the best superhero game ever made.
Yes.
Was
Mhm.
probably Arkham City, I would say.
Mhm. I love Arkham City.
So good.
It was incredibly well done.
Check those ones out if you like action adventure superhero games. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Agreed.
if anyone has anything else, but
I think
I think that's it for
covered it
me.
for
Yeah.
So, and I've spent
topic.
20 minutes
Yep.
on this, so
I was
solid.
gonna say
Yeah.
you'd
That's
want to
good.
hear mine, but then you'll just want me to leave. But
say it, Tim.
Miss Pac-Man and Wii Sports Resort.
Hey, I'll accept it.
I forgot to turn my camera on for that. Now I can be Shamed.
I'll accept it.
Hey,
Tim, you don't play video games though.
I don't,
So
so that's
you
why
don't,
I
so
go.
You know-
we'll take it because we know your history with
you
games.
contributed to the conversation. Whether that's good or bad, it's still
It's a
contributing to the
contribution.
conversation.
I think
so
he's talked more this week so far than I did all of last week.
that was your own choice.
Yeah,
was your
that
own
was
choice.
your own.
Hey, you talked more than me last week.
You
There's
can
3
contribute
anime
when you can.
topics.
Yeah,
just-
you. I'll talk about
So?
animation mostly for mine,
No, I didn't contribute.
and you
that
can
one.
you can talk about that.
And you
for
can
a
always
long
start
period of
watching
time.
anime and join us.
No,
That's true.
No,
You
but
can
Even
ask
culture.
questions.
Be a weeb. Be a weeb.
Yeah, for sure.
One of us.
I'll pass.
One of us.
But
so Dan, should we move